Hey George, I'm glad you found your phone. Um, Here's what I'm doing. Um, oh, I am doing this on the phone, and then what I do is you send it to. It's a pretty simple process. You send it to YouTube, and then I'll email it. I'll just show you one time. Hopefully, then by tomorrow you have your phone up. Really good Bible study last night. I talked about um, you know, we don't fight against power, but the things we don't see. So we got to realize there's a battle going on all the time, and that's what we got to think about. And I talk about renewing your mind, think on these things that are good, and then armor up. So I think I'm doing a short outline, and to the whole group, even though they weren't there to show excitement on how good it was for them to be excited. And it wasn't good because of me. Everyone shared. One guy, young Christian, like, this is so convicting. My wife's been telling me to do this. I see everybody else has struggled with it and found ways to get through it. So it's time for people to enter. And I saw your stuff, but I thought I'm going to do this without looking at your stuff first. And so it gives me a new, fresh perspective. It's time for people, God, to enter a primary battle, to fight, to connect with each other about our problems, but our desire to know God. I think Dan Tiller read this because he said before, we're not here to fix anything, and I know that, but we are here. I told him last night to give suggestions. Like my phone, this bell rings like a church bell, and it reminds me to pray. Everybody liked that, so we just give different opinions. Not many have explored their deep struggle. Not many people have gone deep to relate well to God in the middle of their heartbreaks. They don't want to open up. And I like to start with one or two people, start small. We always, like kind of Matt Stevens, we want to go big. But if we're not faithful in the good, sorry, the small stuff, it's not anything big. Keep in mind, this is powerful. That solving people's problems is really secondary, where you may not be able to help, because it's all about desire to know God. And then think more on how people's problems are influencing their relationship to God, less of how you're able to help them. Like, how's this affecting your life and your walk with God? And don't confuse the secondary with the primary. Very good point. Let people know you're struggling for them. That's the empathy. That's identification of what they're going through. And Paul says, I want to know how much I want you to know how much I'm struggling for you. Not to say, look at me, but I'm with you. This is really good stuff. This last week here. The girl read the letter and broke up with him. It's funny how sometimes how God works. Well, I put, what happened then? I want to know, did he get chewed out by his son? And if you would never wrote that, you never broke up with me. The bottom of the page 153. We must listen eagerly. That's what's bad about me. I gotta listen eagerly. So, I like this. Opening questions. How things. Well, okay. I'm glad to hear, but but we can't ask for more than that, can we? It's okay, the status quo. Well, how so? Well, you know what? Paul tells us, suffering with one another. You can go into it's just like what I talk about, a positioning statement. You don't need to say, like, I'm a chiropractor. Oh, then crack me. Or, oh, chiropractor. They have a stereotype. You say I'm a motivational speaker. So I say I empower lives to impact life. Wow. A chiropractor would say, I help sick people get well and keep them well. I help infants to elderly experience optimum health. Really? What do you do? Well, what's the key to health? Your heart? No, your central nervous system controls and coordinates everything in your body. You can take a heart out and change it and put another heart in, right? Can you take your brain out and put a new brain in? No. Your brain is the most important. You're legally dead when you're brain dead. So there's no obstacle that can stand in the way of knowing God better. That is huge. That first sentence and then this sentence, in fact, that is the battle we fight, the goal we have set. So we enter we enter into the thought of companionship, not heroic or expert rescue. And I love how the guy said, I just want to be with them. I think he had that before. I remember when he went and just said two guys, his client was talking to somebody, and he could read the guy's face, like, oh no, he's going to start diagnosing me or analyzing me. And he's like, I just wanted to hang out. How's it going? People sometimes like it. That's what the barn last night was. It's a barn. It's a wood shop, but we all sat around. It was really good. And Chuck understood what it meant was simply to be with someone, to connect, a deep, deep desire, both to enjoy connection and do whatever their appetites for enjoying the source. So there's 3 good lines. This is the 3rd good line. Entering the battle with interest. I'm really interested in you. With compassion, your heart on your sleeve, perspective. I have a perspective on this, and godly purpose. That's the most important. We must join together in a mutual battle to relate well to Christ. Couldn't say it better. And my brother Mike, thanks for asking. He's double pneumonia. He's on a ventilator, and he's got infection in his blood. But guess what? I prayed with him yesterday, and he accepted Christ. I said, hey, Mike, when his son left the room, I said, just you and me. Let me tell you something. I don't know if you're going to die. I could die on the way home. Who knows? But right now, you have a choice. You can refuse it, but I wish you wouldn't, because there's joy in knowing Jesus. And I said, so, how the prayer goes. And I said, you don't have to say it exactly, but it's like, Lord, I'm a sinner. I realize that, and I realize you died for my sins. Please come into my life. And he just kind of like that. And I said, and they went, oh, wait. So do you want me to pray with you? And I'm like, just like my dad. It was so precious. So I prayed. Dear Jesus, I'm sorry for my sins. I know I'm a sinner. You died for me. Please come into my life. I said, you pray it? So even though I didn't hear him, like, you're in the kingdom of God. Your name's written in the book of life. We'll have eternity to go fishing. And he just kind of smiled, like he wasn't moving. He was in a fetal position, all curled up, just shaking when he got in there. So it was really good. It was really good. Of course, I cried like a baby. But anyways, all right. I'm going to convert this and send it an email. Love you. Bye.